Hi everyone, this is Kevin from Supernatural Selection. Are you an independent creator? Do you have a webcomic or an Etsy store? Do you 3D print things? Or are you just looking to get some word out for your Discordian cabal with social terrorism? Well, we'd love to help. And David, I believe you've got some details about how we can help.
Why, certainly. If you go to supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact, that is supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact, you can learn how to advertise with us.
That's right. I believe the rate is $2 per episode. You can't beat that with a stick.
Yeah, I mean, trust me, we've tried.
Yeah, that's cheap. That's literally cheaper than dirt.
And best of all, if you're not sure how to write an ad, we'll do it for you. We'll even record it.
Absolutely. Just let us know what you need in the ad, and we'll be happy to do that for you.
And again, that URL is supernaturalselectionpod.com/contact.
And now, back to the show. So, yeah, God, it's been. When
When
was the last time we did this show?
I will go to the newly updated Supernatural Selection website, and I will tell you.
Okay.
Gotta wait for it to load. I'm using Opera, and I don't think it's a very good browser now that I've been using it for a while because like it feels slow as shit.
Yeah, no, I just pulled it up, and it's like pretty fucking good actually.
So our last episode was our Christmas episode.
Jesus Christ.
Which was on December 21st.
Been almost 2 months.
Yeah.
Are we recording now?
We are recording now.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Ladies and gentlemen.
Bastard.
Yes. Ever since I started recording this myself, I've been a sneaky bastard. Hello, and welcome back to the Pungy Pit of Pop, the crevasse of culture you have fallen into, the distraction hole. I'm your host this week, Kevin. We're finally back after Christmas, and I am joined by Mike. Mike, how are you doing?
I'm okay.
Okay.
I wasn't loaded all.
In 2 months, there has not been much of a trajectory in either direction for Mike.
Yeah. Mike stays the course.
Well, except for,
can keep a lane, I'll tell you that much.
Except, I think distracting yourself is more important than ever nowadays.
Oh, God, yes.
That's fair.
Yep. And you know who else we got? We got David. David, how are you?
It's been 2 fucking months. I'm glad to finally start talking about some of this shit I've been sitting on.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. God, it's been a while.
It's been a while.
We gotta stop that.
No.
So, do you guys mind if I go first?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just straight out the gate.
Show. We don't have to be fine with it. You can just be a dictator about it.
Okay, I'm gonna be a fucking dick. I'm gonna be a dick and a dictator about it. So first off, I need to say something about another podcast.
Uh-oh.
Robert Evans needs to stay in his goddamn lane. Because his last 2 series have been, Jesus Christ, it just left my fucking brain what they've been about. Mike, I've been bitching about it, haven't I?
Yes.
Yes. Just a sec. I'm pulling it up. I'm gonna go newest to oldest. Like the current one is how the U.S. government used aliens to destroy a man's mind, and the one before that was Valiant Thor.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Motherfucker, stay in your goddamn lane.
Well, the problem is there's such a concentration of bastards in the paranormal and Fortean space.
I know that, but that doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
That's fair.
Yeah. And that's been on my mind. I feel like the latest episode of latest series on Last Podcast has been the best they've ever done. It's about a historic shipwreck, and it has been like, you can tell since Kissel's gone how happy they are because Marcus is doing bits with Henry.
Oh shit!
Like voices.
I've fallen behind in my podcast. I did make a special like arrangement to listen to Behind the Bastards on my way to work last week.
Okay.
Specifically the Woody Guthrie episodes.
Oh, those were great.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mike, you've been listening to some podcasts lately, right?
Not really.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean...
Segue failed.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, like I said, I just don't have the podcast. And like sometimes I'll put on Knowledge Fight before I go to sleep, but I fall asleep like 10 minutes in. So
no, I've been there.
Can't count that as actually listening to it.
That's like me and MST3K. I put MST on, I'm out.
Yeah.
But besides that, which I just had to get that Behind the Bastards thing out there. I got recently in what's it called, Ambernick, an Ambernick handheld video game emulation thing. It's kind of like a little goofy looking PSP or Game Boy looking thing.
Yeah, it's kind of like that thing that I mentioned on our last episode 2 fucking months ago, which was the little handheld device.
Yes. Well, I got it. I got it. We loaded and we did not load these recently, so the statute of limitations is gone.
Sure.
I put some Super NES games on there. I rediscovered a game that I received from Mike's uncle because he didn't like it. It is a Japanese RPG called Arcana. And it's very card-based. Like, the enemies are on playing cards. You are on a playing card, and you collect different spirits that are on playing cards to be in your 4-man party. It's really interesting. It is hard as balls and unforgiving, and it's from the makers of fucking Earthbound.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's by HAL.
Oh, man.
So
I need to play that.
It is shockingly fun. The translation's a little off because it's the early 90s. There are several moments where it's on the level of what you say. So, but it's interesting. It's not like a deck builder, though. Like a modern deck builder kind of game.
No, it's using like playing card and like suits and everything like that.
Well, not even suits. It's just everything's on a card. The cards, you can buy like elemental cards to use in battle that work like scrolls in the Elder Scrolls thing, where you have like scroll of fireball or whatever.
Yeah.
So you can use like a fire scroll, water scroll, earth scroll, blah blah. But there are special cards with elemental characters on them. Like, you start the game with a character named Sylph, who is just a wind spirit, and you can get like a fire, earth, and water, and trade those out. And then you have like your permanent party, which are humans, but you always have this one spirit character that you get from a card.
Interesting.
It's neat. It's kind of hard to explain because when I say it like that, people think of modern day card video games, and it's just not that.
Yeah.
So it's a little hard to explain, but again, it's from the guys that did Earthbound, so it's like got a lot of unique shit going on. And if you can find it, check it out. I
neat. Probably already have it. I just haven't played it. Like, I haven't had time to play video games like at all. The only game I've been playing is checking in on Mother 3 on occasion. So yeah, small world there.
I need to play that. I've never played that one.
This translation patch that is on the version that I have, it's very good. It feels very well localized.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I enjoy Earthbound.
I mean,
mostly. There's some things about Earthbound that do get on, like, it's quirky for the sake of quirky. I love it, but it does, like, there are times where I'm like, you guys are trying a little too hard to be goofy in some places. I mean, it's dark as fuck as it goes, of course, but, I mean, like, Mike, some of the enemies are like modern art.
Okay.
Just new age retro hippie.
Yes. Stuff like that. Hippies.
Alrighty.
And then you get hamburgers to heal yourself from the trash can.
Yeah. No, yeah, one of the first things I did was I looked at a garbage can and said, well, let's see. You find a hamburger. You keep the hamburger. And I'm like, okay.
It's a weird game, but like I adore it.
It was very.
I love the characters, love the story.
It's very poorly advertised.
Yes, absolutely. It also does some like really weird shit that like where you have to sit in front of the waterfall for like 5 minutes.
Yeah, and isn't like the main villain like your aborted brother or something?
No, next door neighbor. Not the main villain. Okay, I don't have time to get into the history of the Mother series here, but one of the sub villains is the.
I mean, like it's an aborted fetus or something, right?
To a degree, yes. You're basically going back in time to defeat the evil alien before he's like born.
It's a fucked up game, Mike.
Yeah.
Mother 3 is even darker though. Like holy crap.
Yeah, like you played the Smash Brothers game. You know who Ness is.
Yes.
Yeah, Ness and Lucas are from the Mother series. So, yeah, it's quirky, but it's fun. Yeah, no, you live in like an not America, because they didn't want to use like real places, so you live in Eagle Land. Yeah, which is better than what they would have called it these days, which is Guntown. But it's interesting, and that's the thing I like about HAL is every game I've ever played by them is like unique.
Yeah.
David, you there?
I can't hear you. You sound like a robot.
Okay, yeah, no, I just noticed on thingy here the voice connection dropped.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if that was on me or because again I've got nothing open except Discord here. So
yeah, no, it just went red for a second on here, so that's weird.
Yeah, like I can hear you now though.
You're
yeah, great.
Yeah. No,
I don't know what happened.
I'm gonna have to keep an eye on that, I guess. Yay.
I can edit that out. So
sure. Well, anyway, like I said, all the games I've ever played by HAL are unique, and I really want to give them a lot of credit for that. But the big thing that I've been distracting myself with is Brandon Sanderson.
As one does.
Yes. So, first off, before I even get to the books, he has started uploading his college course lectures from BYU on his YouTube channel.
Ooh.
And his class is writing science fiction and fantasy novels.
Ooh.
I highly, Mike, you too, right? We both highly recommend these videos.
If you have any interest in writing or just how the process and how they come up with some of the stuff, how the sausage is made.
If you wanted a more interactive version of Stephen King's On Writing that doesn't end with a van accident, this is the way to go. It's oh man, it is really good. There's a lot of stuff he's saying. Here's the funny thing, which Mike had some of this too. David, you'll probably have this as well if you watch them. As a comic creator for the last 25 years, there are a lot of times where he talks about putting together a story, and I'm like, well, fucking duh. I thought everybody knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But then I remember, oh, wait, they don't.
Yeah, that's why he's teaching the course.
Yes, exactly. And he's also, man, he's funny. He's just really amusing.
Yeah, like when the only real experience I have with him, because I still haven't had a chance to read any of his books, is when he did that like video where he announces like 30 books during the pandemic.
Yeah,
that was funny.
Yeah, where he says, actually, I wrote 5 books. Yeah, that whole thing.
I wrote an extra book. Oh, it's actually 2 books. Well, it's 3 books.
And it gets up to like 190 or something.
I think it was 7 total, something like 5, 7, something like that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's great series of videos though. He just did a online Q&A for YouTube questions for the class.
So the videos themselves, are they like recordings of his lectures in the
classroom?
Like, with students there?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he answers questions while he's going and everything.
And they're this year's classes too. It's not like the previous years.
Yeah, like he does a class for the week and then they upload it.
Yeah. And also like this week he didn't have a new episode because he was not in classroom this week. So what he did was the week before he did a call for YouTube questions and answer for the YouTube Q&A, and that's what he did this week, was read those questions and answered them.
Okay.
Yeah,
and it was all the one that was on plot, because the first, there was like the introduction one, and then one about like writing tools, I guess you could say, like not physical tools
in your toolbox,
in your mental toolbox about structure and things like that. And you called for the questions on the one about plot.
Yeah, and like one of the things he talked about is like your, what do you call them, structured writers and discovery writers.
Yeah. And that's people generally fall into somewhere along that spectrum.
Yeah, like Stephen King is a discovery writer. He does not outline because he feels like if he outlines it, well, he's already written the story. I get that. That's how I do all my comics.
I am a structured writer. You've seen like how I write shit.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I have.
Yeah.
But it's a good class. Check it out if you're interested in writing.
Honestly, it sounds like something that I could watch before I go to bed.
Oh, God, yes, you should. Like, it also got me off my ass to write something. I started writing the origin of my character from Spooky Dice Bag, Randrel.
Which I really enjoyed, and I really want to see more of it.
I'm glad. I was very nervous about that story because I haven't written prose in so long. And I'm gonna write the next part after I do some research on how spelljammers work in modern D&D.
Well, and one of the things that I appreciate is that, like, you said you hadn't written prose in a while, but you felt compelled to just start, and it turned out better than you probably thought it would.
It did. Also, I'm using a trial version of Scrivener right now, and I may get the license because it's a good program.
Like, what does Scrivener offer outside of like what Google Docs offers? Because all my compositions on Google Docs. What is this about?
It has similarities to Google Docs in a lot of ways, but it also has like you can do each chapter as a separate document under the project, and then you compile it.
Yeah.
And it will automatically generate the document with footnotes.
Also, you can keep all your documents for that project inside the file, so you don't have to have like, an outline document and a character document. And
there's like a preview plane for like sources. You can put HTML links, images, PDF files all in that document that you can pull up on the fly while you're writing.
Not a commercial, not a paid sponsor.
Yeah, in no way is this a paid sponsor.
We haven't even bought it yet. We've just been looking at the trial. Like how many days is the trial?
30 days.
30 days, yeah. So there's a trial. You just download the whole program, and it's just time limited. And it has a built-in like project that is the tutorial, so it tells you, all the bits and bobs and, what all you do.
I'm starting to kind of come around to the idea though, because I'm going through. That I'm writing 2 novels right now, and those documents are getting really long and very slow on Google Docs.
Oh yeah, no, it's really good for organization of your docs. And it's also got, like, you know, outline features and shit that work with your books as you're writing them. So it's really worth checking out.
Oh, no, that's fair. I'll definitely give it a try.
Yeah, again, 30-day free trial, which we're still in. So, but besides that, back to Sanderson, I started reading the Stormlight Archive. Mm-hmm. Now, the first time I tried to read this was around 2003, 2004. During the period my father was dying, not to get all morbid. But I started reading, Mike, you can back me up, I started reading The Way of Kings, the first book. And after the first few chapters, I've never read any of this.
Oh.
I did not recognize anything that happened in that book almost. And I'm sitting here going, was I that distracted? Was my file corrupted? Did I just stroke out? What the fuck?
Yeah.
So it was like reading a whole... And here's the thing. I remembered how the book ended.
Yeah.
I remembered how it began. I remembered a couple little things in the middle. So from my memory, it was a real short book that didn't make a lot of sense. I was like, why does everybody talk about how great a writer this guy is? He sucks. And it turns out, no. It turns out my brain sucked because I was going through the most stressful thing I've ever experienced in my life.
Oh, absolutely.
So I finished it and immediately started Words of Radiance, the second book.
Mm-hmm.
And finished that in a motherfucking third. I started in January. I never read this fast.
Yeah, I desperately wish I had more time for pleasure reading, because right now I'm doing the scripting for my next episode of Supernat, and I'm reading 3 books, but they're all books about the same incident in history.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, you know me. Typically, everything I read involves, like, anal probing and ghost monkeys, so this is kind of nice.
That should be the title of your autobiography. Anal probing and ghost monkeys. The Kevin Heyman story.
That's not a bad idea, Mike. I like that plan. So, yeah, it's really good. And it's not necessarily, like, okay, again, he's a funny guy. Like, you know how sometimes in fantasy books there's humor, and it's like, you know.
Light chuckle.
Yeah, like Sensible Chuckle magazine. Yes.
Exactly.
No, this is laugh out loud funny in some cases.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, like, but the other big thing is I've never read a book that nailed depression this accurately. Like, one of the main characters, Kaladin, is definitely suffering from major depressive disorder, and holy fuck, it is exactly what you go through. Like, right down to the, maybe I'll just jump off this fucking cliff, I don't know. And then, like, somebody gives you a leaf, and you're like, fine, I'll go fucking home, whatever. Man, it dug up some shit while I was reading it.
Ah, okay.
But it's also, God, it is so fucking hopeful at times. Like, it's never depression without hope, but it's also not a suddenly I'm better because I'm the hero.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You win battles, you never really win the war.
Which it seems appropriate and fair and makes sense.
Yeah, yeah. Also deals with other mental problems. Shallan. Right, Mike?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she takes... Wait, does that show up in book 2 or 3?
Starts in 2, really kicks in 3.
Yeah. So...
It's like a potpourri of the medical handbook on mental illness.
It's like Sanderson starts. What's this character gonna have? They're gonna have bipolar disorder.
It's
okay.
It's like he had a bunch of action figures and said, "How can I break these?"
I've heard writing be described in that very manner. So
yes. It's like, you know how everybody talks about, you have your favorite OC and then you just fucking destroy them. That.
Yeah. No. Absolutely.
Which is exactly what I've done with Randall. So, God, it is such a good series. I don't go on about.
Oh man, you know what I just realized?
What's that?
You have a title that's waiting for you with this Randall story.
I don't think the
Sad Dragon.
No, I'm not calling it Sad Dragon. I'll figure something out, but it's not Sad Dragon.
How about Rad Dragon?
That's even worse in its own way.
And then his evil arc can be called Bad Dragon.
No.
Mad Dragon.
Okay, I heard Holly say something. What did she say?
She went, no.
Thank you, Holly.
Kevin says thank you.
So, here's the thing. I did realize I know what the Spelljammer ship Randall came over on is called.
Huh.
The Audacious Trollop. And I've decided that he spends the first 20 minutes in the ship library trying to find out what those two words mean.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. So, and then he just can't stop laughing. Anyway,
Wait. What if Randall becomes a father?
Mike? What? Wait, Dad Dragon? Here's the thing. And I've said this before on the with the other players. I don't know that Randall knows what sex is.
It's never too late for him to figure it out.
I was gonna say, Kevin, never. Teenagers don't really know what sex is, but they get pregnant all the time.
Sure, but also I don't know that Randall knows how it works mechanically, and I'm still not sure if he has a cloaca or something.
Well, yeah.
So like it's there's questions abound with him. But
well, whatever you figure out about his cloaca or not, you have to put it in that document that I put together.
Yep. I will as soon as we figure it out. That's the other interesting thing about these books is watching Sanderson loosen up a little bit about sex as the books go. Mm-hmm. Because I'm not saying he's a prude, but he's definitely expanded on the idea of these characters having sexy time.
Well, he's a Mormon, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
They have sex without the sheet with a hole in it.
Yes. But there is a really like part of the plot involves some of these characters having like a little buddy, like a little spirit buddy that follows them around, which hasn't led to sex with a spirit buddy in the room in the book I'm in, but it has led to questions about, when I fuck, is this thing going to be watching me?
Or is it going to be jumping on the bed to help with the soaking?
Yeah, actually, one character was like, is it going to be watching me and giving me pointers?
The cuck spren.
Yeah, cuck spren, yes. Which, the little spirits are called spren, and I've been calling Stormlight the world of crabs and spren.
Okay.
The entire planet of Roshar is swept by a massive storm every few days, more or less. Which means everything to survive the storm, like all the plants, like retract into a hole, like at the bottom of the ocean or something. And all the plants, all the animals to survive on Roshar are they're crabs.
They're crustaceans.
It's a crab planet,
there's
David.
Giant crabs, and there's crab people, and there's
there are
crab salad, crab po' boy, crab skewers.
Yeah, it's crab world.
Even the goddamn planet's crab, probably.
You know, it would be funny if it turns out Roshar is like Discworld, but on the shell of a crab.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it has a crab instead of
It's just a hermit crab.
With a moon between each pincher.
Wait, how many moons are on Roshar? 3?
There's a lot of moons. I don't know how many.
Know. Anyway, it's there's a lot of stuff where if you stop and think, the problem is you stop and think that's weird. The problem is Sanderson stopped and thought about it and was like, "Let me explain this before someone opens their goddamn mouth." Mm-hmm. I'm like, "You son of a bitch! You're too smart for me." It's been really entertaining, though, and I don't get to say that about stuff as much as I would like.
I appreciate. I love that journey for you to enjoy things.
Same here. I kind of slacked off on comics for the time being, but man, these books. Mm-hmm. And apparently, all of Sanderson's books, even if they take place on different worlds, seem to be in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he has his Cosmere books, and then he has some of the other things. Like he has a young adult series that are, what is it? Something about librarians.
I don't know. It's probably going to have crabs in it.
But it's not Cosmere related.
So far.
Well, no, it's not going to be. But basically what he said is anything that takes place on Earth is not a Cosmere book.
Okay, that's fair.
So
I have been wondering if Earth relates to Cosmere at all in the Cosmere.
Don't know.
Is there an Earth? It's like asking, where's Earth in Star Wars?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which, David, have I ever told you about that short story that never got published, that they almost published, of Star Wars?
Was it the Indiana Jones one?
No, not that one, but that was funny. No, they were doing an origin for humans in the Star Wars universe, and it started shortly before the world of THX 1138, before that world was set up, with the descendant of the main character of American Graffiti escaping with a bunch of humans on a colony ship to get away from this dystopian future that was starting.
I don't like that. I don't like that.
No one did. That's why the book never came out. And the ship gets sucked through a wormhole back in time to a galaxy far, far away, and that's why there's humans in Star Wars.
So you're telling me that little Ronnie Howard is the predecessor of...
No, it's worse than that. It's not little Ronnie Howard. It's little Richard Dreyfuss.
Oh,
it's the LCU.
Richard Dreyfuss is the origin of Han Solo.
Love it.
Yeah. Yep. And then it deals with like their descendants being slaves of this one alien species that gets stuck in their pupil stage, and it turns out they're the Hutts, and and then like the descendant of Richard Dreyfuss's character discovers the Force, and like transports everyone through space by moving stars, and they call him the Skywalker, and I'm like, this is so fucking stupid.
And then Jaws shows up.
I would not have been surprised if somebody was the descendant of Quint. It was so bad.
The Lucas Cinematic Universe.
That's a jump off the cliff moment right there.
Yes.
If that had been published,
it's like poetry. It rhymes.
It rhymes. It's like poetry.
They're friends.
He's a sad little boy because his dad's dead. And we told you about the whole reason. God, what was that video game they were gonna do about Darth Maul?
Oh, I don't remember.
It's some game that was going to take place on Coruscant.
Oh, you're talking about 1313?
1313.
I thought that was Boba Fett.
Yeah, but like then he said I want it to be Darth Maul, and they had like 2 statuettes on the table as decoration as Darth Maul and some other character that existed like thousands of years prior, and he looks at them and like scoots them together, looks at the game devs and goes, they're friends, and then like they have to make the game about that.
I thought it was like the main character, and then was going to be the villain of the game.
It was Darth Maul, and you know the Sith lady that's like a Twi'lek, but she's like got red and black
from the
tattoos.
far future of Star Wars, back when it's Cade Skywalker.
Yeah, it was a statuette of her and Darth Maul, and you just pushed them together and said they're friends. Now you have to do this.
Red belongs together.
Yeah, and they were like, I just picture them like tearing their design docs up, going, "Okay, well that's a year down the toilet."
Yep.
Well, 1313 fell for the Mandalorian to rise, so
that's fair. Yeah. But God, can you imagine just like this giant presentation and this jackhole just basically grabs two characters and starts making them kiss? And this is the game.
Like, that's how I'm going to run a studio when I eventually have one.
I will never work for you, but I will gladly watch secreted videos on TikTok of you going off on people. Oh
what if everybody had 3 arms? Let's try that for a little bit.
What if they had a penis growing out of their back? Oh, God. His name is Luke Cocksheath. Anyway. So that's my distractions, guys.
Yeah, we've been distracted.
We have been distracted by this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, we are going to hear from Mike.
Okay.
Podcast cheese.
All right.
Podcast cheese. Podcast cheese.
Yes, actually, I'm going to go get my podcast.
That needs to be a T-shirt. Can't podcast without my cheese.
Actually, I need to draw a picture of my head with a slice of American cheese slapped on my face like they do with cats, and it just says podcast cheese.
So see, I would make it worse because it would be in a high angle of you on your knees, tongue out with the cheese coming down on your face.
I fucking hate you.
I was just thinking it would just be like a slice of cheese still in the wrapper with the face is up so you can kind of see the line. Yeah. Just there, just the picture of the cheese on the shirt. And it says podcast cheese. No explanation. Just that's it.
Well, you know what? Okay, that's great. But we will be right back after this and cheese.
Hey, man, what's got you off in your phone there?
Oh, just going through all the funny Mothman memes and supernatural shit posts I've been wanting to share. I just don't know where to put the posts yet.
Don't you know about the Supernatural Selection Discord?
We have a Discord?
Yeah, for years, dude. Where have you been?
Can people chat with the hosts and get previews of upcoming episodes and generally post funny shit as much as they want with other listeners?
I mean, if that's your bag, I mean, personally, I wouldn't do that, but there are even live streaming events for the shows there, too. You've been in a few. How do you not know this stuff?
It must have been my doppelganger. How do I get into the Discord?
It's easy. Just visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com. Now say that 3 times fast.
Well, that's perfect. Now I can share 3 terabytes of Hollow Earth memes. Get it? Terabytes.
Never mind. Forget I said anything. Just don't do that. You should definitely not visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com to join the Discord. We don't want you there.
Too late. I'm already posting my alien abduction fan fiction with the general chat.
Join the hosts and listeners of Supernatural Selection on the official Discord. Just visit discord.supernaturalselectionpod.com.
And we're back. Welcome back to the Distraction Hole. Before we let Mike go, I wanted to just throw something out there real quick that popped into my head a little while back. In Transformers, particularly Generation 1, there was a character named Blaster. David, are you familiar with Blaster?
No, not so much.
All right. You familiar with Soundwave?
Yes.
Okay, so Blaster is the Autobot equivalent. He is a boombox that ejects tapes.
Okay.
And the name Blaster is because they couldn't get away with calling him Ghetto Blaster.
Wonderful.
Because boombox. Anyway, it's played by an African-American gentleman that did a DJ voice for him, and it dawned on me, they ever bring him back in a movie or something, I want him voiced by Three Dog from Fallout 3. Just getting that out there. That's who I want to play Blaster.
There you go.
So, anyway, now that I got that out of my system, Mike, what have you been up to?
Oh, just hanging around.
Great, David. No, Mike, seriously.
So lately, within the last few days, this week, I guess, I've been back on the Space Engineers crack. Space Engineers is a game where you're in space and you engineer things.
Okay.
Damn it.
No, it's basically space themed Minecraft.
All right.
You mine resources and you build ships and bases and things. So, sinking a lot of time into that, and I've not gotten like too terribly far, but I've been building like a mining vehicle to, so I don't have to mine everything by hand. And, yeah.
So you're just playing the first season of For All Mankind?
Kind of, except, by myself.
Yeah.
I'm kind of bootstrapping the space race by all by my lonesome. Although, you start off in a spacesuit, so, I don't know how bootstrappy it is.
No, that's fair.
Let's see. Other than that, I haven't really been watching any anime lately. I'm kind of in an off season for anime, although I am waiting for a few shows that are currently airing to finish so I can go back. Like the second season of 100 Girlfriends is currently airing, so I want that to be done before I start.
I'm watching it as it's coming out.
Yeah, I prefer to not do that.
Oh, I'm very intrigued because I had to cut back on the amount of stuff I wanted to talk about. There were several anime I wanted to talk about. It was going to be David's Anime Corner, but I'm going to save that for next time.
Yeah. So haven't really watched any shows really, except for just my normal YouTube stuff. Let's see. What have I really been boring these last couple of months?
Oh yeah, you like YouTube? Name 3. Oh wait, let me get my gun. Click.
What have you been watching on YouTube, Mike, to keep David from killing you?
I mean, pretty much the same stuff I always watch. There's Gamers Nexus, Cletus McFarland, gosh, lots of things.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
That wasn't 3,
Taylor Ray.
Okay, there we go.
Who's Taylor Ray?
He's a drift guy that, does like
Tokyo
car
Drift
builds. And Scott Manley. Got to represent the Goons.
Who is Scott Manley again?
He does space videos. And
he's a goon?
Yeah. Project Farm.
Hey, for the younger folks out there, by the way,
yeah.
Can we just say goon a few more times?
Yeah, the film gauge really gets bent out of shape when we say goon and we mean like people because, we had it first.
Yeah,
I
just don't understand why there's a problem with us gooning right here on the podcast.
Yeah, I know.
We're just
we're just going to have us a gooning session.
Yeah, I know it ends up being a little bit of a mess every time we goon on the podcast, but that's what happens when you have a bunch of guys gooning.
I mean, it is something awful.
I mean, when I go to Dragon Con, there's just goons everywhere. We're just all they're gooning out with each other.
I mean, you could say it's a big goon puddle.
I mean, here's the thing: if you got furries, they're gonna goon.
Yeah, definitely. Goddamn. I mean, yeah. Anyway, you're talking.
Yeah.
That's called yes and.
Yeah. And just just stuff like that. Just Gosh, I've not really watched much scripted television.
Yeah.
Type things, no shows.
So you're talking about the past week. Now it's been 2 months, sir. 2 months.
Yeah.
What
Okay. So Kevin talked to. I won't talk much about it, but so I did. Book 5 of Stormlight Archive came out. Was that January?
Yeah.
And so I read that, and that was really good. It's and the way Stormlight is set up. So Sanderson has several different stories. This is just the Sanderson cast now. Get used to it. Deal with it. We're just taking it over.
Sunglasses dropped from the ceiling.
Yeah. So in the Cosmere, he's got several different series. And Cosmere just means all his different novel series that are
his fantasy universe,
in the same universe that are eventually going to be interconnected. They're starting to show signs of interconnectivity.
The cracks are showing.
Some characters sharing and moving between series, but they're in a kind of fantasy setting right now. So all the moving between worlds and their planets, they're not just like dimensions or anything. They're each of the book series takes place on a different planet.
Yeah, like the term system has popped up.
Yeah, and so the only way they can get between these planets right now is some form of like portal or, other kind of, dimension. But he has said that eventually there will be spaceships in the Cosmere. So that'll be interesting.
Spelljammers.
Yeah, this literally sounds like Spelljammer.
Yeah. So, and each of the book series, or each of the facets, let's call it facets. How's that? I like that term. Each of the facets of the Cosmere is a kind of different story setup. Like Mistborn are kind of shorter books, smaller series. Like the first Mistborn series was 3 books. The second arc of Mistborn is 4 books, but they're all like, I don't know, a couple hundred pages, 300-400 pages maybe. They're regular novel sizes. Whereas the Stormlight Archive are the big, kind of modern fantasy size, talking 800 page, door stoppers. And there's 5 per arc. So the book 5 just came out this year, and that's the end of the first arc of Stormlight. So you had Way of Kings. What was the second one?
Words of
Radiance. Oathbringer,
yeah.
Rhythm of War, and then Wind and Truth. That's the first arc of Stormlight. And he said he's going to take a couple year break. And so the next Stormlight book's not going to come out till 2030 something.
I'm fucking exhausted already.
2? Yeah.
And here's the thing is he's going to complete the 5-part of his 5-part epic before George R. R. Martin finishes the last game.
Oh, yeah, no. He'll have like 4 series done before the next fucking...
That's the best thing about Sanderson is he's like a writing machine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as evidenced by the writing too many books.
Mm-hmm.
Too many books.
And then there's other kind of smaller parts of the Cosmere. There's the Elantris world, which so far has 2 books, I think. It's Elantris and the Emperor's...
New Groove?
Yeah, no, it's Emperor's Soul. I believe that's on the Elantris world. And then there's Warbringer. Or is Emperor's Soul on a Warbringer world?
I thought Warbringer was part of... Stormlight.
No, okay. Warbringer's its own thing.
So a lot of these books retail between like $20 to $25, and I'm just thinking about how fucking expensive it would be to own all of these books.
Yeah, and there's some anthology books that had short stories for
because of course there are.
Yeah. Well, that's why we have libraries, David. You don't have to spend that much money on them.
No. I'm like, I want to get into Sanderson, but then also it's like, do I really have that much real estate in my life?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to own the physical books, yes, it's going to take some space up. That's why I've kind of I like physical books. I really do, but you can't argue with the, the
they're expensive
benefits of ebooks and an ebook reader.
Well, and the thing was also like, I wasn't even talking about like physical space. Like when I said real estate, I'm talking about like mental real estate.
All
of this.
It doesn't take up that much space.
Okay, that's fair. Like it's on my list. I need to finish reading some other stuff I've got on my plate, but it's on there.
Yeah, I think it's worthwhile. Like, so there are some, I mean, I think every author probably has haters, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see the most vocal haters for Sanderson though, which,
I understand it, but I don't agree with it.
I mean, I guess it could be part, jealousy maybe that, hey, he's such a prolific, and I will never say Sanderson's the best writer. Like, he's good. He's gotten better, but he is not, he's
not the great American artist.
Say he's not even, as good as, Jordan.
Like he's writing the modern equivalent of pulps, from what I've gathered.
I'd say it's better than pulps.
Well, I would say the second pulps, I mean, like maybe the second Mistborn series is a little pulpy. I mean, it's a detective, Mike.
Oh yeah, but he's done a lot of genre blending like that. Like hell, the first Mistborn series was like heists and revolution. So
yeah, and I kind of looked at that as like that's a good sign because the way the Marvel movies were, it was like, okay, here's a 70s spy thriller with Captain America in it.
So I forgot where I was going with that. We got sidetracked so much. No, it's fine. That was discussion. It was nothing to be sorry about. But so yeah, it's just a whole, and there's, I was talking about how, Sanderson isn't the best writer. And he's good. He's very, and like I said, like anything, he's getting better. But, when I first started reading him, I had read someone describe his prose as workmanlike, which I can kind of agree with. It got the job done, but I definitely feel he's grown as a writer. And maybe, in another decade or so, you could think of him as one of the best writers.
Sure. Well, he's already good.
I'm saying he's good, but,
well,
some people get hung up that he's not the best, so therefore he's not worth it.
Well, he's out there. He puts himself out there in the public eye, so he's kind of painted a target on himself.
Oh yeah, no, he likes. I wouldn't say he likes. I don't know if he likes being in the spotlight, but he definitely likes talking his craft.
Oh yeah, he loves that, and he loves interacting with fans. So yeah.
Like he, pretty much every time he's laid over at an airport, he goes to the bookstore and signs books, just copies of his books on the shelf, so you could buy one of his books in an airport, not knowing it was a signed copy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and sometimes he would post on social media and be like, "Well, secret signing happened at the airport bookstore in Dallas. If you want to try to find it."
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what were we talking about?
Did I say on the podcast I met him once?
No,
I don't know if you did.
Yeah, the first Dragon Con I went to, one of the reasons I went was he was there. It was the last Robert Jordan track at Dragon Con because they split that off into its own convention. And so, but yeah, he was there because he had, just, I think the first of the books he had finished had just come out. Or maybe the second one. I guess it'd been a minute because I'd read Mistborn and some other stuff of his. And so I went and, had him sign my Kindle and, just, it was just cool, to see a writer I'd read stuff from. I'd never, met a writer before that I'd read their stuff of.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Right.
Yeah. That was 2012. So that was quite a while ago.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
13 years.
Yeah, I was even, that was probably before. When did the first Stormlight book come out?
I don't know.
So,
I'm looking it up. August 31st, 2010.
Okay, so maybe I'd read that one by then. But yeah, so that first book had just come out. So wow, gosh, time sucks.
Time, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Deal with it.
Let's see what else to talk about. Oh, so other stuff I've been doing, car work. I've been working on the car. So I bought a new to me car. I got a good deal on it because I knew it needed a good bit of work. Mm-hmm. So
it was Dusty's car.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it. You can say it if you want, but I was gonna let that be.
Well, anonymous. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's not like we said her name.
But it's a 2007 Buick Lucerne. So it's the second Buick I've owned, and the second maroon grandma car Buick I've owned. So I've already replaced the evaporative canister purge valve and the alternator.
The evaporative canister, what was it?
Purge valve.
It just sounds like the technobabble we were doing in our Star Trek RPG.
Yeah.
Mike, are you saying you're replacing the rear valve regurgitation plate?
Yes.
Did you recalibrate the stem flange?
Correct.
Did you, in fact, modify the main deflector array to emit an inverse tachyon pulse?
You have to do that. If you don't do that every week, you fall into the shadow zone.
Well, I mean, you can avoid that by reversing the polarity of the neutron flow. So.
Oh yeah.
Thank you, Doctor.
You want to know what a evaporative emissions purge valve does?
Sure.
So all right, in your car you have gasoline, right?
Right.
Oh my God, Mike! Really?
So gasoline, likes to evaporate. It's not a very stable liquid.
Right.
So when it evaporates, old cars would just let that, shit go into the atmosphere. And much like cow farts, that's not a great thing in the atmosphere. So you have it in modern cars, pretty much any car since like the 80s, probably.
I think so.
You have a canister on there that it's full of activated charcoal.
Now, can I ask, is this part of the California emission standard?
It probably was at first, but now it's a, nationwide, probably a worldwide emission standard by this point. But the charcoal canister captures all the fumes and all the gasoline in the air, all the gasoline vapor gets absorbed into the charcoal. Well, now you have this canister full of just air and maybe a little bit of gasoline vapor. What do you do with it? Well, you run a line from that canister up to the engine and let the engine suck that vapor in. And so the purge valve purges the evaporative charcoal canister and lets the engine suck the air out of the canister into the engine.
I see.
So the valve I had was broken. The little where the tube came from the gas tank up to the engine was broken off. And therefore the car thought the gas cap was loose. So if you ever have don't put the gas cap on and run your car and it says tighten gas cap, mm-hmm. The computer can know because it's not seeing a suction on that, end. But my car thought it, the gas cap was loose, but because it didn't know that thing was broken.
Y'all remember Car Talk with Click and Clack?
There was not enough laughing for it to be that.
That's true.
I didn't make enough hackneyed jokes.
Yeah, no, I do appreciate it. It's exactly what it says on the canister there.
Yes, the evaporative emission canister.
Yeah, no.
Indeed.
And, the alternator, everybody knows what an alternator does. It alternates between, here and there.
Did you say alternator or waternator?
Alternator.
Okay.
I have a radiator sitting like 2 feet behind me that I need to put on it because it does leak coolant, but not a whole lot, and it's been too cold and rainy to do it. So.
And it's gonna be cold as hell tomorrow.
Yeah. So it'll get done eventually thing, because really I only drive it to work, so I probably have to fill it up with coolant. And I'm not really like fill it, like put like a half a gallon of pre-mixed or less a week. So it's not a dire problem. It's just a annoying problem. It's just I can't drive it, more than 30 miles, maybe. I don't know. So that's not a problem.
Right.
This isn't a car podcast, so I'm trying to think of anything else I've done.
It's a Brandon Sanderson podcast.
Yeah, no.
Yes. Cars and Sanderson.
What kind of car does Brandon Sanderson drive? Let's find out.
Oh, that'd be an interesting thing. Probably a very big one because he's Mormon. I think he has like 4 or 5 kids.
He's also not a small man.
Yeah, he is a fluffy boy.
He's fluffy. He's not super fluffy. He's lost some weight.
Yeah. Let's see. Looking around. Oh, I got some. So for a while now, I've had some McFarlane Toys Warhammer 40K figures.
Oh hell yeah! Let's get back to the space Nazis.
Yeah, space Nazis. And I've seen stuff. So I have a bad habit of going on Big Bad Toy Store and looking at stuff I shouldn't.
I made that mistake
URL,
too.
That URL
Yeah.
sounds like it could be for a potentially worse website than just a normal
It does
toy store.
sound like it should be related to Bad Dragon.
BigBadDragonDildos.com. But
It's like longshankmeatshack.com would be terrible.
But so for a while now, I've known another company makes Warhammer, toy figures called Joy Toy, which is also very suggestive.
They got to start rethinking these goddamn brand names.
No kidding. And so I got a couple of those, some of the cheaper ones, because some of them go really expensive. Like your really nice characters can be like $70, $80.
Well,
Mike, I just had an idea for our toy store.
What's that?
This is a dildo.com.
Well, I was going to
Big
say, if you're looking
cocks.
for a premium toy, you can just go to toysyoucanfuck.org.
Oh, no, Adam and Eve.
AdamandEve.com. Put in code This is a dildo.
Oh, God, I wish they would sponsor our show.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
We would take any sponsor as long as
Well,
it wasn't,
Halliburton's no good. The Koch brothers are no good.
Well,
They're
which
all
of
Nazis.
us would do the ad read for Adam and Eve?
That would be
I
me,
would.
sir. If you're looking for something to spice up your bedroom life.
Does your life feel empty? Plug the holes with
Do
something
you-
from AdamandEve.com.
No, Mike, here it is. Does your life feel empty? Do you feel empty?
Psst. Hey, you want to come?
You want to have to clean up some... Are you into gooning?
Lubes for your toys.
No.
Goon lube.
Here it is. Just begin ad. Nut. AdamandEve.com.
Get that nut.
But yeah,
We'll never get a sponsor now.
probably not. So anyway, Joy Toy. So the McFarlane figures were about, I'd say, 5 to 6 inch figures.
They're McFarlane figure size.
Now, how much more expensive is the 12-inch version?
Oh, you don't want to know. That's
It's got
like,
vibrating features.
but the Joy Toy I'd say it's about 2/3 that size.
Now, are they machine washable?
Probably I wouldn't. They look like they have some paint applique that might, come off in the cycle.
You don't want dragon scales in your washing machine.
But they're high quality, durable.
Sorry to step on your bits here.
Sorry, this is getting...
robust and ribbed for her pleasure.
God
I don't
damn
know.
it, Mike.
Every time I say something, you just immediately go into the gutter. So
Well-
I don't know what else to say.
You got something girthy from Big Bad Toy Store.
Now,
You know, I also got some toys from Big Bad Toy Store.
now, do they come flared with their base?
Yes, they have bases on them. Well, they came with bases I put on them so they would not. Not so they wouldn't fall over. I can't make that sexual.
What I got from Big Bad Toy Store is called Blaster.
He got the anal blaster from Big Bad Toy Store.
I also got Laser Optimus Prime to drop all pretense.
That's not very sexy.
No, it's not. It's a good thing I'm in a relationship because I would never get a girlfriend after saying that.
Oh, one of mine has a thunder hammer.
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
But he got 2 Space Marines.
Yes.
And a transformer.
And a transformer. Which one?
Yep. Bombshell.
Fair enough.
So I'd had the other Insecticons from this release, Kickback and Well, used to be Shrapnel. Now they changed it to Scrapnel, I guess, so they can trademark it. But Kickback is not. I guess that's trademark.
Well, you know, he's named after government kickbacks. So I don't know.
Hasbro seems to have gotten last decade or so getting really hung up on what they can copyright. Because it's not just jazz anymore; it's Autobot jazz.
Well, they finally got Hot Rod back. So
Speaking of Hot Rod,
God damn it, it's got flames on it.
makes it go faster.
Yes. Makes you go faster.
What have we become?
Yes, we become everything we hate. No.
Well, we've been holding it in for like 2 months. Of course, we're gonna bust.
Yes.
Are you saying we've been edging for 2 months?
I know I have been with what I want to talk about.
Speaking of gooning,
And I guess I'll end it off with earlier today. Also played some VR mini golf.
Oh,
Haven't done that in a while.
That is nerdy.
Yes. It's a couple of friends and I like to sometimes. We don't do it as much as we, want to probably, but just get together and play some walkabout mini golf in VR.
Well, Adam and Eve can
fun
spice
times.
up your playtime with your friends.
Yes. So can
Well,
walkabout.
it does involve shaft and balls.
Yes.
And
Knocking
holes.
them around.
And putting balls in holes.
Sink them balls in the holes.
Word.
Wow.
Are you grossed out yet, kids?
We're all 12 years
Well,
old
I'm
today.
spent.
This is like your creepy old uncle talking about making really bad jokes at Thanksgiving. They're going to get him kicked out.
Oh, that was fun.
Oh, Christ. What else you been up to, Mike? Anything else?
Said I'm spent.
Oh, wow.
I'm spent. I've shot my load.
Oh, clean up
Wow.
after yourself.
Well, how about we take a break, and when we come back, we will hear from David. Because God damn it, motherfucker. We're children. Old children.
I'm sorry I came first.
Oh, God damn it. All right, we will be right back after this. Fuck. Hey, Kevin here. Hope you're enjoying the episode.
Hey, who are you talking to, Kevin?
Listeners of our shows, I also want to let them know that if they're enjoying what we've been doing, they can support us on Patreon.
Oh, Patreon. Were you going to tell them about the early episodes? Also, Patreon exclusive episodes that can be found there too?
Well, yeah, I was going to do the
Oh, yeah. And then there's the other cool stuff, including art, merch for subscribers, like tote bags, hoodies, shirts, mugs.
Yeah, and
Can you believe people could support us for only $5 a month? You're definitely going to mention that too, right?
I was. Support Supernatural Selection and the Distraction Hole on Patreon for as little as $5 a month. Visit patreon.supernaturalselectionpod.com to learn more and get started today. And we are back.
Distraction hole. More like, damn it, I forgot what I was going to say.
Distracted by that hole.
Fuck, I can't believe I I fucked that up.
Wow.
Depravity hole.
Fucking spiraling as we come back from break.
This is what happens.
Debauchery hole.
This is what happens when we don't record this for 2 months and we just
Everything
talk about
was riding on him
shit.
nailing whatever joke that was, and he didn't nail it, and now he's just mad.
Yes. I forgot debauchery hole.
Wow.
It's like, you remember Mr. Show with Bob and David? And then, like, Bob and Kirk just, God damn it!
Yeah.
That's just the vibe I got from Mike just there. Just, God damn it!
You know what the single best sketch they ever did on that show was?
Huh.
The one about the kid that tried to kill himself by jumping into the pit of acid because of the Not Metallica song. And they come visit him in the hospital. And it's Dave Cross in the bed, and they pull the sheets down, and his body looks like a wet cigar.
Oh, God.
And, like, one of them just, like, they pull it down, and, like, the big dude just passes out and just falls over.
I need to figure out where that's streaming, because, man, I missed that show.
Yeah. And then, like, they had invited him to come on tour, and they're like, dude, we'll never get laid again. So they do a song called Try, Try, Try Again, Go Head First This Time or something. And then, like, the video's dedicated to the kid because he did kill himself finally.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And see, Mike, your failure just now got us to this point, which is great.
So, speaking of a point, David, what have you been doing?
Well, funny you should mention points, because I've been waiting 2 fucking months to talk about Nosferatu.
Yeah, somebody I know, was it you that posted the picture of him sitting in the throne? It said, I once got it on in a Burger King bathroom.
No, but
he looked
that sounds
like
like
Humpty.
something I post.
Okay, he looked like Humpty in that shot.
Yeah.
So,
have you guys seen it yet?
not yet.
No.
Oh man. Okay. You're planning to though.
Film Gauge is planning on bringing it over next week sometime.
Yeah, I don't want to spoil anything, but I just do want to mention, like, it's a really good movie.
Just so you know, it's based on a movie that came out like over 100 years ago that I've seen already.
But there's elements of it that are like, that they're...
And it's based on the book Dracula, so I kind of know how it ends.
Well, it's more like, performance stuff and, like, how Nosferatu, or how, I'm sorry, Orlok is portrayed.
Orlok. I kept calling him Orloff.
Right. Again, like, I love that movie. I am so excited about the fact that Dave Eggers is now going to be doing a werewolf movie.
It's called Werewolf. And I'm like, did you watch MST3K?
Well, and what I love is, like, so I've been reading a lot of, like, interviews and stuff with the guy and everything, like, right? And he had one quote that just sells me on him so hard, and it's something along the lines of, if I ever have to make a movie with a car in it, I'm going to kill myself. Or something like that.
Wow.
Because, all of his movies are set, like, old-fashioned, no cars, no technology or anything like that. So, did you guys ever see The Witch, or should I say The Vitch?
Again, I need to see his movies.
Yeah, okay. So you haven't seen The Lighthouse or The Norseman?
Nope. I really wanted to see The Lighthouse, but I did not get the chance.
Okay, The Lighthouse is fucking incredible. Like, so right
I
now...
know.
So, as far as directors...
I've seen some clips.
Okay, so as far as, like, directors out there right now, I would definitely put, like, Dave Eggers, like, at the top of, like, no, this guy is fucking going places, right?
This guy fucks.
No, like, I'm sure he does. He's very talented, but no, just everything about Nosferatu, I fell in love with, because I've seen, like, I don't know how many different versions of Nosferatu. As far as, like, how
you saw Shadow of the Bat, right?
Huh?
Or was it Shadow of the Vampire? Shadow of the Vampire.
Yeah, Shadow of the Vampire is the one with
also with Willem Dafoe.
Yeah, which that's kind of funny. So after we saw Nosferatu, I showed Holly Shadow of the Vampire, which is an amazing movie, by the way.
I would like some makeup.
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
But yeah, like no, everything about Nosferatu just fucking hits because it like has that perfect gothic tone. The way that they portray
it looks
Orlok,
moody as hell. So
yeah, all of his movies very very moody. Some really cool performance things going on there. Like who knew that like Johnny Depp's kid was such a good actress? Like,
oh, is that his kid?
Yeah, Lily Rose Depp. Yep.
Oh, damn.
Fucking Nicholas Hoult is just showing up in all sorts of good movies lately. But just one of the things I love about Nosferatu is how they portray Orlok, because that is how I envision, like, that's what Dracula is supposed to look like.
Right.
Like just
weird mustachioid Eastern European dude.
Yeah, and it was the facial hair and everything like that. Bill Skarsgård, I think it's Bill. He's the one who played Pennywise.
Right. Yeah, Pennywise.
Yeah. Like his Orlok's excellent. I don't know how they came up with the kind of wheezing voice that he does, but it's so goddamn good.
I wonder if that's related to the concept of consumption being the origin of vampires.
You know, thinking about that, I think you might be onto something there. Like the dude definitely could use an inhaler. I'll tell you that much.
Right.
But no, just here's the thing about Nosferatu, because I like last week. No, it was this week. My lecture in my class was about vampires, so I got to talk about Nosferatu and that sort of stuff. And I'd point out the ridiculousness of the fact that Nosferatu has to get on a fucking boat to go to Weimar, Germany, which makes no sense, because why would you take a boat to go from like Romania to Germany, right? But they kept it in there because it was literally one of the best parts of the novel.
It was England, right?
London
novel,
specifically. So because they had to quickly change Nosferatu around because they were being sued by the Stoker estate.
Right.
But it was just one of those funny things where like I just love that they were in such a funny way to try to like readapt it that way, but to include the boat.
Right.
Which I love. But yeah, and then Willem Dafoe, so good as the Von Helsing analog. He's a cat guy, which is fantastic.
I believe his name was Han Velsing. No, wait.
That's right. But yeah, no, I thoroughly recommend it. It's one of my favorite movies of last year for sure. And it came out right at the end of last year too. Which, saving the best for last, I guess. I don't know, man. Like, I'm excited. Like, monster movies are starting to get, like, really big again.
Yeah.
Which makes me incredibly happy.
Oh, I know. This is your shit.
Well, and I think, I had talked about, like, the upcoming Nosferatu on the show before.
Oh, you did. You were really excited about it, and I'm glad it's good, and I want to see it.
Yeah, I'm actually like really interested in hearing your thoughts, because one thing, obviously I would like to cover like vampirism on the show,
right?
And I'm really excited to hear it, and also like I want to hear Mike's impression of it as well.
I don't know that Mike's going to see it, because we're probably going to watch it, like, early one morning before I have to go to work. But, like, if there's a way I can get Mike to see it, I will get Mike to see it.
Oh, no, like, again, like, it's if you got the time and everything like that. But, like, when you do, like, let me know what you think, because, damn.
Sure.
So good. I also recently saw that Wolfman movie, which I enjoyed, but, like, a lot of people did not.
Film Gauge said it was fine.
Like,
which is, he wanted it to be amazing, but it was fine. And from what it looked like, it seems like it was kind of going for the whole, this is rabies.
Yeah. It's definitely along the lines of more of like the Lon Chaney Jr. kind of thing, where it, does his werewolf really look like a werewolf, like as we would conceive of it?
Yeah, it looked like somebody stuck his face in hair growth formula, and then he thought he was a wolf, right?
Well, and the movie presents like two different werewolves that you actually see, and the one who's older looks more like the Universal Studios classic kind of werewolf, whereas the new guy, number one, he's fighting against the infection to a degree, to avoid like it taking him over a little bit, right? So there's that kind of like mind over matter resistance. Like, anyway, like I enjoyed it. I had to write. I didn't have to write an essay about it, but I ended up writing an essay about it because like the division in the audience kind of like struck me as like people coming into it with expectations that weren't met, expectations that they themselves manufactured, and then get mad when those expectations are not met. Which,
well, you know, I find werewolf movies are kind of like that. They don't go over as well as vampire movies most of the time. Like, oh god, who did? Joe Johnston's?
Which I enjoyed that one as well.
I did too, but like it was one of those I wanted to like this more than I did.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just so funny because so much of vampire lore that we have now is just directly lifted from old werewolf stories. So it's like the vampire just kind of like took everything from the werewolf to a degree.
Well, you know, that's why Twilight happened.
Right. But no, that
give us our lore back.
I wasn't. It's funny. I wasn't intending to talk about Wolfman, but it just kind of came up. But I do have one anime I do want to talk about.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So you know that I like my isekai trash. You know?
Oh yeah. Yeah, so, we've talked about isekai.
So recently, there's been one that's really appealed to me, and it is called "The Red Ranger Becomes an Adventurer in Another World."
So I've heard of that one.
Yes.
Someone told me
I was
about
telling you about that one.
Well, someone else mentioned, the guy that comes in the store, I think, mentioned it as well.
It's a lot of fun. Basically, what if the Red Power Rangers showed up in a fantasy world?
I love that idea.
Complete with all of the tropes, right? So number one, you've got like the trope of every time they do the henshin transformation, there's like an explosion behind them.
Right.
Like an explosion happens. Able to still summon all of the robots, including the Mega robot. Yeah.
I wish it had been done live action so that they would have the robot in the suit fighting like a dude dressed as a dragon.
That would be pretty cool. I would watch a live action version of this for sure. The other thing is like every Sentai show has its very kind of like strange esoteric theme. You know, it's not just dinosaurs, right? Sometimes it's ninjas, sometimes it's cars. This Red Ranger is part of a Sentai show where the emphasis is on bonds between people.
Okay.
So all of the weaponry and attacks are based on like bonds, like friendship, love, marriage, rivalry, that sort of thing. It's incredibly ridiculous.
Is this My Little Pony?
Huh?
Is this My Little Pony? Did Lauren Faust do this?
I don't know, man, but it's great because his character is like playing the whole thing because he's literally just that Sentai character in this fantasy world where no one can explain why he's able to do what he does, and it frustrates the hell out of the wizard girl who basically is like recruited him to study him.
You know what? This may be the first isekai you've mentioned where I've been like, actually, I want to see this.
It's fun. Like, it's not the best that I've seen so far. You know, it's more like coasting for me. It's more coasting on the concept of just like the concept's so ridiculous. I'm enjoying it. The rest of the thing has been a little like bog standard. The swordsman character who shows up, I found pretty interesting because he just does not like the Power Ranger guy.
Okay.
Yeah, because he's like the chosen hero of this world, basically. And then you've got this Sentai dude coming up and like kind of dabbing over everyone to a degree. It's
oh lord.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. The confused, puzzling expressions they have when like they go inside the robot or he pulls out some sort of ridiculous like technology-based weapon. Yeah, yeah. I've been watching a lot of anime recently. I figured I'd at least bring that one up. I think it's a lot of fun. Not the most depraved thing I've watched, which I'll talk about next time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, there is one anime this season that is incredibly depraved. I can't believe it is a thing that exists.
Is
absolutely
this
hilarious.
the 100 Girlfriend thing?
Is it what?
The 100 Girlfriend thing?
No, 100 Girlfriend is very, very kind of wholesome in a way.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Not what I was expecting.
Oh, I mean, obviously, it's got its little bit of, like, lewd, ecchi kind of moments, but, like, overall,
Right.
like, again, like, the main character, Rentaro, he's, like, such a nice guy. Like, if any anime protagonist was going to have 100 girlfriends, I'm glad it's him, basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Kevin, think of Rand when, he has 3 girlfriends.
Oh, that's adorable. Okay.
Yeah. No, it's surprisingly, like, it's still got a little bit of, like, the cringe kind of, like, Japanese sex weirdness to it.
Yeah.
But, like, just more positive overall.
For some reason, this just made me think of a show I really wanted to watch, and we cannot find it anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
There was a show several years ago, and when I say several, I mean probably 20 years ago, called Blue Blazes.
Mm.
And it was a live-action series, but it was about the people that founded Gainax in animation school.
Mm.
And I really wanted to see it. And you can barely find any reference to it on the internet.
It just sounds like the live-action version of Otaku no Video.
Kinda.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the same guys that made Otaku no Video.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, it's like, because like, what's his name that did Evangelion? Kojima?
No,
it's the other guy. Kano.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's one of the characters in it, and he's like this brooding guy, and
no, Anno, Hideki Anno.
Yeah.
Hideki Anno. Yes. Sorry, cannot remember names. But yeah, he's one of the characters in it. He's a brooding sort of,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but it's played for laughs.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like, it's all people looking at, being jealous of each other's art, and it's like super melodramatic with like anime style emoticons and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you cannot find this thing anywhere.
I don't know. Put Mike to work. I'm sure he can find it.
I already did.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh no.
That's the problem.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Yeah, buddy.
Well, I do want to bring up one more movie that I saw recently. I've had other stuff going on. I like creative output, stories, and everything like that. But
by the way, David is working on a comic strip we're not talking about right now. But man, it's fun.
Are you talking about the Goblin and the Goth Girl?
Yes, I fucking adore it.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun. I thought you were talking about the Mickey Mouse versus Popeye one, which is also very fun.
That is also fun, yes.
Yeah. I've got too many projects. I need to figure out what to do with myself. Anyway, so there's so many, like, again, we've been waiting like 2 months to do this, so there's a lot that I'm shifting up into other episodes, but I wanted to talk about the new Captain America movie.
Oh, did you see it?
Yes, I did. Are you planning on seeing it?
I might.
Yeah, at some point.
Okay, all right.
Maybe not at theaters.
Because there's a writing thing that I want to talk about regarding it, but it kind of spoils something, so I may just have to kind of keep that to myself. Yeah.
Okay.
But I enjoyed it. It definitely feels like a movie that had 5 screenwriters.
Oh yeah, I mean, there were a lot of reshoots and then reshoots of those reshoots.
And that's just Marvel stuff in general. I wish it'd stop where they, start shooting, but they don't have a final script, and they're literally rewriting it as they're shooting, and it leads to just kind of messes of movies.
They lack conviction.
It's just lack consistency, and they don't, when you're shooting something and not knowing how it's ending, obviously it's just going to fuck everything up.
Well, and then also just like looking at the production history of it, like so many things that were in like early promotional stuff that just do not show up in this movie.
Yes.
You know, like they have like three characters that I was interested in seeing just are not in the movie, even though like
oh yeah, they cut them out.
Yeah, and then
wow.
there like there's the bones of a really good movie, because a lot of the times when the movie's at its best, it reminds me of The Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm.
It really
I heard that.
Yeah, it really has that vibe. I wish it kind of carried it the whole way through. It's also kind of a weird pseudo sequel to The Incredible Hulk. Which like I can understand how it would work, but also like they don't do enough with it, and then they also like miss opportunities for things in the writing that would make so much sense, and I just don't know how they miss those things. And like again, this sounds like me bitching about the movie, and I guess to a degree maybe it is a little bit of that, but like ultimately
because it could have been better.
Yeah, like here's the thing, like what I saw in the movie I liked. I just wish there was more of it, and I think there was a really good movie in there. I love Sam Wilson as Captain America. I think he's...
Oh, yeah, I that's one of the things I've been looking forward to. I've heard nothing but good things about Anthony Mackie.
Yeah, no, Anthony Mackie's great. Like the character of Sam, I like the new Falcon, Joaquin. Just... The other thing is, like, Harrison Ford in a Marvel movie. Like, I never would have expected that to happen, but it totally works.
You know... I heard something really interesting about how they did the Red Hulk in him is that wasn't a special effect. They just brought people onto the set and asked him questions about Star Wars.
Right. And then to get him to calm down, they asked him about Indiana Jones.
Yeah, he just did that.
Yeah. I saw a great shit post the other day where they said they recasted Harrison Ford as the Incredible Hulk, as the Gray Hulk. Yeah, because it was a whole big colorblind joke, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It was, but no, like honestly, so there are 3 Marvel movies coming out this year.
Yeah, I don't remember what there's that Thunderbolts, which I am looking forward to.
Yeah, and Fantastic Four.
Oh yeah, okay, that's the one I'm really excited about. Right.
So of the 3, the one I was looking forward to least was Captain America.
Okay.
Because I genuinely, like, I have an appreciation of the Thunderbolts, and I like that it's all these, like, B-tier characters.
It's the leftovers from the rest of the Marvel movies.
Yeah, but it's also one of those things where it's like, look, if you don't kill off the villains, you can have them come back and do shit, right? Because that was a big thing with, like, a lot of the early Marvel stuff. They kill off these villains where it's like, no, you keep them around because then you can have them do fun things. But yeah, like this movie will actually, I think, dovetail nicely with Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolts is going to be the better movie between the two, between this and Thunderbolts and Captain America, because I think Thunderbolts started its production right around the time that Marvel started realizing, okay, well maybe 5 movies a year and 3 TV series is a bit much.
It was in the Captain America happened during the shift.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, Captain America Brave New World also kind of feels like Civil War, not in the sense that it combines a bunch of characters like Civil War did, but more like it's kind of a connective tissue to kind of bridge the gap and update some storylines. Because one element of the Marvel Universe that's happened and like I have not seen updates on it was the fucking Celestial Hand coming out of Earth. Yeah, and that's
the one thing I was hoping for.
They do address that, and they introduce something really, really big, which like anyone who's a comic fan, they're gonna know exactly what it means.
I have heard. Yeah. I had a theory that's what they were gonna do, and then it turns out they did.
Yeah. But it just you could just see the storyline playing out with everything like that. It's just one of those things where like I really wish I could talk about like one scene in particular that kind of illustrates the writing problems with the movie, but it's in the 3rd act and I don't want to spoil it. But like once you guys see it, remind me to bring it up.
Okay.
So can we talk about Fantastic Four for a second?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Mike.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that so far from the little bit you've seen?
I mean, I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully have a good Fantastic Four movie finally.
Yeah, I mean, can we all agree that Ben Grimm looks like a Jack Kirby drawing stepped off of a page and put on a sweater?
Oh yeah, and I love the actor that they chose for him.
Well, of course, you love the bear.
Well, yeah, but he was also microchipped in The Punisher.
Okay, I actually didn't watch the Punisher series, unfortunately.
Okay. But no, like obviously there's a little bit of that stunt casting in there.
Sure.
You know, but like it works. Like I could see him as Ben Grimm, and his delivery for Ben sounds really good to me as well.
Yep. And I'm also really excited that Herbie's in it.
Yes. I think the biggest touch for me in the trailer, it's like, no, they finally seem to have something that's going to like really stick, is when they sing the words Fantastic Four.
Oh, I was hoping somebody was going to mention that, and it wasn't me, because that got me excited.
Yeah.
It's like this, because, I mean, that was the first real Marvel Universe comic.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it needs to be big.
Yeah.
You know, it needs to be important.
So, we haven't seen Reed's powers in the trailer, so...
I noticed that.
Like, I think it's... A lot of people are saying it's because Marvel's nervous it's going to look weird.
I read a better theory.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's ashamed.
Which, yeah,
I think
feel like
he's ashamed and blames himself for this because of what happened to Ben.
Yeah.
So him using his powers is a reminder of that.
Yeah. Which also Pedro Pascal is Reed Richards. It's working for me.
I fucking love that, man.
Like people were like kind of like dunking on the choice because again it's Pedro Pascal. Like he's in everything now, but like
but Pedro Pascal can go one of two ways when you cast him, and I think this is not going to be the bad way. This is not going to be the unbearable weight of massive talent, Pedro Pascal.
Well, was he necessarily bad in that, or was it just like him?
No, I'm just, he was put up against Nicolas Cage. He only got one way to go, and that's over that hill.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's fair. Because I hadn't seen that movie, but like...
They had him up against Nicolas Cage, and I can only imagine it's like putting Tommy Lee Jones in that Batman movie with Jim Carrey. You gotta amp it up.
Yeah, no, which for that movie that absolutely makes sense.
I think we're gonna get more along the lines of The Mandalorian. Yeah, like he's taking this seriously.
Like he
as
can
an
play
actor.
a family guy. That's what he can do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Great casting on Sue Storm, by the way.
Yes, oh my gosh.
I love that actress in those James Bond movies. Not James Bond, Mission Impossible. My bad.
Yeah. I'm excited, and I think it comes out the same day as Superman, right?
God damn it.
I
That's
think
another
so.
one I need to see.
Let's see.
By the way, did either of y'all see the little mini thing they did for the Super Bowl about that movie?
No.
It's, God, what's the actor's name playing Guy Gardner? My brain.
Nathan Fillion.
Nathan. Yeah.
It's Nathan Fillion as Guy Gardner, like, smoothing out the haircut, and at the bottom it just says, "The only bowl I need."
Yeah. No, that was so
like,
good.
This is, and the way he's moving, it's like, that's Guy Gardner. What a dick.
Okay, so Superman comes out July 11th, Fantastic Four July 25th.
Busy month.
Yeah, no, that's going to be a really busy month, but like those,
I'm seeing them.
I think those are ones that I will spring for IMAX for.
I kind of agree, actually. I would like to see those in the best possible format.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
now
do
that
love
I have
that
glasses.
Guy Gardner little reel or whatever they did. Like, again, he looks like you want to punch him in the face, and that is exactly what you want out of Guy Gardner.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I mean, ever since I saw him do a pressed ham through the watchtower windows at Batman, and Batman's like, he's mooning me, isn't he? That's Guy Gardner right there.
So here's the big question: what's going to be the better movie, Fantastic Four or Superman?
Oh fuck! Don't make me do this, man.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Okay, two of your kids are about to be murdered. Which one do you save? Don't ask me that.
If I right now had to guess based on past experiences,
it's going to be Superman.
I'm going to say Superman because James Gunn, I think, has done the best Marvel movies of the last, few.
Yeah.
What do they call it? Not generations.
Decades?
Phases, yeah.
Yeah, phase. The
last couple of phases. So, who's doing the Fantastic Four? Do we know?
I don't know.
The director of WandaVision.
Actually, that fits. Like that straight up fits.
I think whoever that was good, but I think James Gunn's better.
I'm still gonna see both.
Oh yeah.
No. This isn't like you can only see one.
But as far as purely the better movie, it's probably gonna be Superman. I could be wrong, but that's my gut feeling. As a
guess, I'm gonna go with Superman as well. Not that I don't want to see Fantastic Four, and especially since they're finally like, why beat around the bush with Galactus? It's a giant dude in purple armor. Just do it.
Fucking voiced by oh god, what's that actor's name? Reese.
I know who you mean.
Let me.
Yeah, I wasn't familiar with him, and Film Gauge pulled up some footage of him talking. I was like, ooh, okay, yeah,
because he's also a Nosferatu, by the way.
Is he?
So yeah, like we got him in Nosferatu. We have Holt in Nosferatu, who's playing Lex Luthor in Superman.
Which I love the casting in that movie because that dude was in fucking. Here's the thing: I like him, and I wanted him to be in something that isn't those fucking X-Men movies because they ruined Beast.
Well, I mean, he's fucking Lex Luthor now, so like that works. He's got the attitude and vibe.
Like, Mike, how did you feel about Beast in the First Class movies? I feel like they made him.
Remember,
all he did was like pine over Mystique and be pissed at his lot in life.
That sounds kind of dire.
My problem, like, don't get me wrong, I love First Class, amazing X-Men film.
Yeah, that movie is good.
But like, part of Beast's whole tragedy is that he was already deformed, like considered deformed before he got the hair.
Yeah.
And you can't really do that with Nicholas Hoult. Like, they gave him, like, funky little hand feet.
Yeah, but only when he took his shoes off.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where, like, no, he kind of has to look like a gorilla person.
Yes.
Right? That's just Beast.
Yeah. When I had Marvel Unlimited, I actually dug up the issue where Beast mutated. Mm-hmm. That's a terrible story. Like, there's a reason they don't really flash back to it happening. They just say it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, yeah, it was a terrible story.
Yeah, I mean, that's what happens over time, though, is, like, you get the core of, like, what's important to a story.
Yeah.
And you just kind of loosely reference it. Like, it makes sense. I totally understand why they did that.
And it really was, like, it definitely had a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde vibe to it.
Yeah.
And the whole plot revolved around, oh no, I didn't get to take the antidote in time. I'm stuck this way permanently.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's also why they've kind of, like, ignored the fact that Professor Xavier wanted to bone Marvel Girl.
Yeah, you don't want to...
yeah, like, that's early X-Men, right?
Yep, it is. Yeah, so. Xavier's like 35, she's 16. Yeah. Let's not do that.
Yep. So, some things fall by the wayside, and that's for the best. But yeah, I mean, that's all I've got distraction-wise.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, guys, I think it's time for a game.
Ooh.
Okay.
So what we're gonna do is, you ever play Balderdash?
I don't remember the last time I played it, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no.
So I have a list of interesting words.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to give you each a couple of words, and you tell me what you think it means.
Okay.
And whoever has the most entertaining ones after, say, 3 rounds
Okay.
is the winner.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So, Mike,
Yeah.
your word is piloerection.
Well, I don't have to say the word, do I? Do I have to use it in a sentence?
No. Yeah, okay, here's the sentence. Piloerection is a strange word.
No, I'm just saying we're not going by
No.
spelling bee rules.
No, all you have to do
Piloerection.
is tell me your definition of it.
All right. The dude what flies an airplane gets a boner. Piloerection.
Okay, that's pretty good. All right, David.
Mm-hmm.
Aprosexia.
That is being appropriately sexy at any applicable moment.
Okay. That's a tough one. That is a tough one. Fuck. You know what? I'm gonna go with Mike because he put the pilot thing in there.
Now, see,
For
I
this
heard
round.
it. I heard it as piloerection, which meant it was a pile of erections.
Damn. Oh well. All right. Round 2. Mike. Your word is oikomania.
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 Oikomania. We'll see pigs sometimes when they're hunting for truffles will get the wrong kind of mushroom and they'll eat it and they'll start tripping balls, and that's oikomania.
Interesting.
Now, see, I heard it was a different syndrome. That's when you've just finished watching The Penguin and you start to talk like Oswald Cobblepot, like you have to go to wake and you have to, like, all that. So, yeah, I don't know. I think it's like trying to do bad Jersey accent.
Okay. Well, David.
Uh-huh.
Your word, spelled Fyrdung, fire dung.
That's just fucking diarrhea, dude.
No, that's a specific type of diarrhea. We have diarrhea after super, super spicy Indian food. That's fire dung.
Yeah, but I'm going to give that one to David, so...
It was a hearty turtle.
But it wasn't burning poo.
It's... We're going to go for a last round to decide the winner.
Oh, shit.
Mike, your word is spit chalk.
Wasn't that just that meme with that girl we had a few years
No, that was Hawk Tua.
No, that was I remember it was spit chalk. That's what she said.
You're saying that's what it was. That's
Yes.
what spit chalk was. Okay. Let me see. I gotta look for a good one. Okay. No, I'm not doing silly bum. That's just too easy. David.
Uh-huh.
Can you give me the definition of the word whiffler?
Okay, whiffler. Definition of the word whiffler. That is a person who has a very wide butthole, so that when they fart, it just sounds like... Yeah.
Damn it, this is a tough one. Damn it. I liked both of those. I wish one of you had said something incredibly stupid.
My answer has gaping in it, so...
God damn it. He does have a point.
But my answer is popular with the kids.
Are you saying yours is hashtagable?
Yes.
It's just a very dry spit. Doesn't wet anything at all.
Oh, God. Mike, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to give it to David this time.
You're just playing favoritism by giving him the better words.
I'm not. Dude, you won the first one. What are you talking about?
Okay, well, how about you give us one more word, and then we both come up with a definition.
Okay.
Yeah.
That sounds fair. All right. The word Bangiwala. Bangiwala.
You first, Mike.
What? Let's see, Bangiwala. Well, that's just Australian sex.
I was going to say that's what you call your Australian fuck buddy.
Those are both very similar.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you want to Bangiwala? It's only the second date, but...
Okay, now, Mike, what was yours again?
That's just Australian sex.
Okay, and David, yours was...
That's the name for your Australian fuck buddy.
Okay, interesting. This is just extra credit for both of y'all, you know. Now, the actual definition is, in British India, one who carries a bangy.
What's bangy?
I don't know.
That just raises further questions.
Yes, thank you, Hermes.
What are the definitions of the other words we had?
Well, you know, they're clickable, and you can go to it, and none of them have a fucking definition.
What? That's just Bangiwalo.
I know. Like, and here's the thing. One of them is fungible. I'm like, that's way too common these days. Everybody knows fungible.
It just sounds like we're in a real quizumbuck.
Yep, pretty much.
It's a Duke-tastrophe.
It's a perfectly crumulent word.
Sounds Duke-licious to me.
Yep. How about this one, guys? Y'all give me a definition for this one, both of y'all. Mm-hmm. Sex foil.
You can go first, David. I went first before.
Oh, it's obviously your sexual antagonist.
Okay.
I was just thinking, that's when you have sex while fencing.
Ooh, I like that one, Mike.
Let's sword
Sex
fight.
while fencing.
Let's sword fight.
Now that one we actually have a definition for: a plant or flower with 6 leaves.
Oh, makes sense.
Yeah, kind of bland. Blame. Ooh, here's a good one. Spong.
Spong.
It's a bong made by Todd McFarlane.
That cape, yo. Mike? What is a spong?
A spong is just, it's like when your sponge is falling apart and you just have a piece of it left.
Ooh.
That's a spong.
Ooh, that's unpleasant.
Yes.
The actual definition, a projection of land. Like a peninsula.
I'm going to go live me on that spong over there.
All right. Well, this is going to be the last one for you guys.
Okay.
And there's no definition for this one. Skamoog. Skamoog.
Well, that's
Skamoog.
that's a synthesizer used specifically in ska music.
I don't know that you can do that.
That's what I was going to say.
I didn't say it's good ska music.
Okay. I mean, electronic ska just should be burned.
Well, yeah.
It's Real Big Fish, but in MIDI form.
Oh, God. Replace the horns with, a mini moog.
Mm-hmm.
It's semi-large what's the P word for fish?
Piscatarian?
Well, it's pescatarians, people that only eat fish, but Pisces, semi-large Pisces.
It sounds like a real pisk take to me.
Well, yes. Piscatarians are from the planet Piscatar, so.
Yeah. Skamoog is that's easy. That's one of them Star Trek Deep Space Nine characters. This is Quark's brother Skamoog. Quirk's cousin, Skymoog.
Skymoog. You said Skymoog. I'm like, no. That's the big keyboard in the sky.
It's what happens when a bunch of Ents get together and form a band.
I really get the feeling like half of these are just Australian slang. I mean, whoop-knacker, wonga.
You spent $500 dues?
Zug swang.
That's a prostitute, a zug swang.
A zumbaruk.
What about a humbucker?
I don't know what that is. Oh, this is a disgusting word. Snuttering.
I know it.
It's when you mutter in your sleep as you snore.
Ooh.
No. Snuttering is when you snore and come at the same time.
Ooh. Ooh, wow. It's like a violent wet dream.
Oh, yes. God. Your sleep apnea just causes a big mess.
Oh, yeah, no. That's when David Carradine or Michael Hutchins would have sleep apnea. They're choking in their sleep.
Jesus Christ.
Wow. It is a great word. Wister snivet.
My imaginary friend.
Well, what about Windershins?
That's a real word.
I know.
I think it's like opposite direction of the sun, isn't it?
Isn't it? I can't remember now.
Well, we're about to find out. Widdershins. In a contrary or counterclockwise direction.
That's what I thought.
The wrong way.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's our game for the week.
The winner was nobody.
The winner was the listener.
Yeah, don't put this on them.
It's your fault, listener. Oh, man. Well, it's been fun to be back, and this was shambolic as shit. Mm-hmm. So,
well, not as bad as mine.
No, we had a bunch
of episodes.
We had a bunch of technical issues on this one.
We did have a lot of technical issues, but we also had a whole bunch of blockage from not doing this for 2 months. So, again, episode edging. So, thank you everyone for listening. I do not have a positive affirmation. I think we were trying to figure out another way to end the show anyway. Mm-hmm. Because my only positive affirmation is smile when you punch a Nazi.
Hey, it's good.
Yeah, that's my positive affirmation. Fucking smile when you punch him in the face. So, thanks for listening. You can find everything you need to about the show on supernatpod.rocks, including the other show, SupernatPod, Supernatural Selection, where we talk about ghost monkeys. So, David, Mike,
yeah,
thank you for doing this with me as always. Mm-hmm. I think, Mike, you're host next time.
I'll forget. Don't worry.
Yep. Awesome. Can't wait for the chaos. So, we'll see you guys next time. So, be cool. Just be cool. Be cool, y'all. Don't tell your mom we did this.
Yeah.
Bye.
Fart.
Windershins.
Snuttering.
Snuttering. I say, William, have you been snuttering?
It's my new rap song. Snut, 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 snut.
Well, I fucking hate that.